Hey guys, it's Friday night once again, back at the man cave, and it's time to do our thing that we do here on Friday night. And grilling and chilling with Coleman's here with us already, coming in from YouTube, which I'm going to talk about here in just a minute, but we're going to kick off our Friday night with a drink like we always do. So I am sort of celebrating tonight, and I'll tell you why here in just a minute. So I'm getting the good stuff out. This is all I've got left of that Eagle Rare, and I don't know where my next bottle of that's coming from. So we're going to enjoy some of this tonight. I'm going to pour a nice little pour of that, and cheers. Oh man, that smells great. That's my favorite bourbon. But we're celebrating tonight because my live streaming problems are solved. I am so happy about this. You guys who are with me every week know that I've been struggling with the video quality issues, and it turns out that the streaming service I was using was the problem. I did some research and found out that I'm not the only one having that problem with that service. So I have switched up to a different city called or a different suite called StreamYard. It's actually less expensive, and it's got a lot of cool features that the other system didn't have. And it's a lot less expensive. So that's going to be a bonus all the way around. Tonight, I'm doing something that I've also never been able to do before. I am streaming live to Facebook and YouTube at the same time. So for those of you that don't know, I have a YouTube channel. I do, and there it is. There's the link to it on the screen there. And I'm streaming live to both places because I know YouTube, there's a divide between YouTube and Facebook. And there's a whole class of people that don't do Facebook that do exist on YouTube. So I'm very happy to be having the opportunity here to do this in both places for a change. It's been something I've been wanting to do for a long time, and now we can do it. And we should not be having any video issues here. So that is the reason for celebration this week. That's the reason why we're going to break out the good bourbon. If you're having a drink with me tonight, be sure and leave me a comment here and let me know what you're having, and let me know where you are. We've got Avery Wood Oven Boston coming in from up in the New England area. This guy, he's a master on the wood-fired oven. Scott Love is with us. Scott's down in Georgia. Let's see here. Got Scott from Brentwood, Tennessee coming in through YouTube. Mike from Portland, Oregon. We've got a good crowd here tonight. That's excellent. I am very happy to see everybody here with us. So it's been a horrible week, other than the fact I have my live streaming problems fixed. It's been a rough week here at the man cave. I haven't gotten any cooking done, hardly at all. I was getting ready to do some cooking, and I was walking around down here in the man cave, and I stepped in a puddle of water. And that's not unheard of down here. When we have torrential rains in this area, sometimes I get some water in my basement, but it was sunny, no rain anywhere in sight. And I quickly discovered that my water heater had given up the ghost. So I'm panicking about that, because any of y'all that know me know I'm not a handyman, and this is a big problem. So I tried to get a hold of the plumber. I was going to have the plumber come look at it, and he was not able to get here quickly. And I felt fairly sure that my hot water heater had given up the ghost and it needed to be replaced. This hot water heater is at least 20 years old. And I just decided to go buy a new one. And I rescheduled with the same plumber. And he said, he could come put it in for me the next day. So what's the day? Today's Friday. Wednesday night, I went and bought a new hot water heater. Got it home. That was another hassle. Of course, it won't fit in my car. So we had to call my father-in-law to come get it in his truck. We brought it up here, and I was trying to make some preparations to be ready when the plumber got here and have as much done as I could. I was trying to drain out the other hot water heater, and I got to looking at the new hot water heater, and I had been reading that the newer style hot water heaters are a little larger for the same capacity. They've got more insulation in them and stuff like that. And I got everything set up, and I looked at that thing again, and I had another light bulb moment. It's too wide to fit through the door where it needed to go. So I'm panicked again. I get a hold of my wife, and she calls her dad, and he comes up here, and we had to take the door frame off. This hot water heater is in the bathroom that's down here in the man cave, and I believe the people that did the finishing work in this basement built that bathroom around that hot water heater, because I doubt very seriously that the old one would have even come out the door. The door was 23 inches wide, and that old hot water heater is 23 inches wide. So we took the door frame off though and got the old one out, got the new one in, and now I'm back in hot water again. It's crazy, but it was it's been a mess. And because of that, I didn't get a cooking video done this week because I've been spending all my time trying to fix that. I'm going to get 2 next week, though, that are going to be very, very worthwhile. We're going to talk about those. But I've also got some other stuff going on here I want to show you. First thing I'm going to do is bring Tanya in. Tanya's here with us tonight. And say hey to everybody, Tanya.
Hey, everybody. What's up?
Tanya's here, and let me see if I can. I'm still trying to figure out this stuff. Okay, Tanya's going to be helping me out here tonight again, like she's been doing. This thing I'm showing you here is called a GroBucket, and what these things are is they're plastic inserts that go in 5-gallon buckets that allow you to turn them into planters that are watered from the bottom. And I've got 13 of these things ready to go, but my seeds that I have planted in the AeroGarden are coming up really nicely. These are my hot pepper seeds. I've got Fresno chilies, Tabasco, cayenne, and habanero pepper seeds started that are looking really good. Everything here is coming up really well. And on the other side of this, I've got my herbs and spices that are most of what I'm going to plant. I've got the dill growing there in the back. It's growing really quickly. I've got basil. I've got sage. I've got thyme. The only thing I didn't get in here that I wanted to get in here is my oregano, which I'm going to start a little bit later. I forgot to order the oregano seeds when I ordered this stuff, but this AeroGarden has this grow light, and I just leave that grow light on 24/7 for these things, and these things are growing really well and really quickly. And when they get up a little bit bigger, I'm going to take them out and put them in solo cups and let them keep growing inside under this light until I'm free from the first or the last frost possibility, which will probably be sometime mid-April. We sometimes have a late frost in April, but the cool thing is all of this stuff's going in containers, a lot of it's going in these buckets, but I'll be able to move them in and move them out if I have fear of a frost coming in. So that's kind of where I exist on that. And I'm still learning how to operate this new streaming software. I'm real happy with it. It's pretty cool, but I'm really excited about the herb garden and the pepper garden this year. One of the reasons I'm growing all these hot peppers is sometime in the fall, I'm hoping to do some homemade fermented hot pepper sauces, and I'm going to try to share what I learn about making those with all of you guys. I've got a friend here in North Carolina. I need to see if I can get him to come on live with me one night and talk about this process, because he's the one that introduced me to these bucket inserts, and he's an expert at growing these things and making these sauces. So Mark's here in North Carolina, so we'll get him back up in here. I came across a couple of really huge chunks of charcoal this week also. One of my bags of lump had two of these. These are just gigantic pieces of charcoal. The two of them weigh a little over 6 pounds together. And I posted a picture of that because I know how everybody gets crazy over big charcoal chunks. I hate them, especially when they're this big, because I get my hatchet out and break that down into reasonable size charcoal chunks before they ever find their way into my grill. So, Tanya, are you drinking with us tonight?
Tonight I am being wild and woolly, and I'm having vanilla eclair coffee.
Is that that's one of the Nespresso?
Yeah, it's the last one of them that I have. I was trying to find something I haven't had during our little soirees here, and that was one that I didn't have. It's
Awesome.
good.
Yeah.
Yep.
Let's see here.
You got all kinds of questions.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to go back here and have a look at. Another cool thing I've got with this is I can show these questions up here on the stream. And actually, Avery wanted to know where yours was, so I just kind of brought that up there. Avery, she does not drink much alcohol with me, but she is a connoisseur of I guess great coffee. So
yeah, occasionally I'll be wild and I'll have a little sip. I had one back in December, I think.
Yeah, you
Maybe
did.
it was January. I don't know.
You got to taste all that stuff that we tasted when we went to the Jack Daniel's distillery also.
Yeah, that was in October?
Yeah.
Was that October?
It's been a while.
Yeah.
Grimble Frampton wants to know what I think of the Joe kettle and the pellet grill. The pellet grill is awesome. I've been cooking a lot on that thing. Everything about it. There's one minor thing about it I don't like that I'm going to talk about later, because I think they're going to improve that. I think with the next shipment of those things that's supposed to hit the ground here in March, I think that improvement may have been made already. So I'm going to have a look, talk about that. But yeah, the Pellet Joe's solid. It's an amazing grill. And last week I talked about the kettle. I talked about the Kettle Joe a little bit, and I was hoping to be able to talk a little bit more about that again this week. But here's the Kettle Joe. This is what it looks like, and it's got the this part here is the slow roller insert that you can use for your low and slow indirect smoking. And this is what it looks like without the slow roller insert in it. This Kettle Joe is in testing right now. There's a handful of people that have this grill. Originally, I decided not to get the test version, but I've since changed my mind, and they're sending me one of the pre-production models. I actually had hoped I would have had that by today, but it's not here yet. But when it gets here, I'm going to have a lot more photographs for you to see, uh, and I'm going to do some cooking on it. I'm really excited about this grill. I can't speak hands-on experience with it yet because I don't have it. I've got a lot of high hopes for this thing. I'm really impressed with what I've seen so far from the guys who are testing this early. I think there's a lot of great things about this grill, and I'm really stoked about the $499 price point that this guy's coming onto the market with. It's it's what I would call a Weber kettle on steroids. As you can see in this picture, it has a ceramic firebox insert. That's going to create a huge advantage in this grill because it's going to give the grill some thermal mass and give it some heat retention that you just can't get in a Weber kettle. That's one of the reasons I bought my original Kamados, because of the heat retention properties in the kettle were horrible. And but this one, as you can see, has got a split grate, half moon grates. It's got two half moon grates where you can do high or low cooking. It does not come with a heat deflector for using in this mode for 2-zone cooking, but from what I've been told, the Big Joe heat deflector fits perfectly. This is a 22-inch grill. It's the same diameter as a Weber kettle, and it's got this adjustable height hinge on it on the back where you can see with the slow roller insert in here, you have to raise the lid to get it to close and sit flush on that. So yeah, I really do like the Kettle Joe, even though I haven't had my hands on it yet. I'm really looking forward to giving you some hands-on feedback on that grill. I just don't have it yet, and when I get it, we're gonna give it a work over. You know how I do, and I am really looking forward to doing a lot of video cooking content on that grill, because the thing that excites me most about that grill is it's going to bring a lot of people into the Kamado Joe community that might not have been there before at this price point. This is a lower price point than you can get in, with the exception of a Joe Jr., but a Joe Jr. is a 13-inch grill. You're really limited as to what you can put on that grill for space. And Gribble's asking about how much the Pellet Joe is. The Pellet Joe is $2,000. It's $19.99. It's a very expensive. It's not a cheap grill. And let's see here. Kevin O'Connell's asking what the body's made of. This is made out of rolled steel, just like a Weber kettle, and it's got the same sort of enamel coating on it that a Weber kettle would have. And Terry's asking, will the Kettle Joe be a briquette charcoal cooker? You can cook with whatever you want in it. You can use lump charcoal. You can use briquettes. You can use briquettes in your ceramic Kamado if you want to. The only reason most people don't is because it makes so much ash that it's just a mess. It's harder to deal with the ash from briquettes than it is with lump charcoal. Randall Snyder's with us. Glad to have you with us tonight.
John, we had someone ask earlier, what was the name of the bucket inserts again?
They are called GroBuckets. GroBucket. And I'll tell you what, let me do here. I was kind of prepared for that question just a little bit here. The website is growtechgarden.com. Here's the website for the GroBucket. It's let me get my mouse down here. These are sold. This company sells this product through Amazon, and I don't remember exactly what I paid for these. I bought a 10-pack of these things to start with, And I think the 10 pack was $109 or $119 maybe. And then I bought 3 more. I decided I wanted a few more, and the 3 pack of them was $39. But these things are sold at Amazon. I wish I had a better picture of them here. This website doesn't really do a great job of showing you what this insert looks like. When I get my garden together and when I start putting things in this bucket, I will definitely make photographs and show you exactly what these inserts look like and how they work. They're I really like the way they work because you pour water in these things and it waters from the bottom, and there's a floating water level indicator that sits in the down tube where you can tell by looking at the bucket if it needs water or not. And you actually drill a hole in the bucket as well, where if you get rain, where it won't overwater, it'll actually spill out and not overfill your bucket and rot your root system. It's a really good system. I'm really impressed. And like I said, the guy that I was telling you about, that's the expert on growing these hot peppers, recommended this for me, and that's why I'm trying these. So I'll have more detail on how that system works once I actually put some dirt in them. I'm going to have to buy, like I said, I'm going to be dealing with 13 of these, so I'm going to have to go buy a whole lot of potting soil. Tanya, you might get your dad. We might have to get a half a truckload of potting soil up here.
Well, Settlemeyer's has got a special this week.
Yeah, well, we'll see. I'm going to need a lot. I'm going to need enough potting soil for 13 5-gallon buckets. And I also need to add some to some other pots that we're going to put herbs and stuff in here also. I'm going to mostly use those buckets for my hot peppers. I'm going to put dill in one, and I'm going to put basil in one. But we'll see how it goes from there. I've got sage and thyme in other pots. I'm telling you guys, for those of you that missed out, I am enjoying Eagle Rare tonight. I stumbled across a bottle of this in a local ABC store here in North Carolina. And before I realized that I was probably never going to be able to find another one, I went through most of that bottle. So I'm stuck. But like I said, we're celebrating tonight because our live stream problems are solved. I am so happy now to get to focus back with you guys on content rather than have to worry about whether things are working. Because
I am also very excited because I no longer have to hear about.
Yeah, Tanya doesn't have to listen to me whining about my stuff's not working. But Tanya, I do have to thank you because you did. We bounced a lot of ideas off of each other trying to figure out a problem that was not our problem.
And I kept telling John, I don't think this is our problem.
Well, I kept thinking it was because the frigging company was telling, oh, Mom, if you're watching, I didn't just say that. That company just, they kept tossing the ball back to me as the problem being either my internet service or my laptop. And, after spending $1,500 trying to fix the problem, I realized it's not our problem. So that's where we stand on that. The next thing I've got on my list that I wanted to talk to you guys about is one of the things that's going to happen this week. Uh-oh. How did that happen?
Magic.
Why did I get signed out of that? Oh, goodness. What a pain. Okay, what's not working here? Dadgummit. How the heck did I get signed out of Google? Okay. Well, instead of
up top.
Let me sort this out here in just a moment. That's definitely not what I wanted. That's going to screw me up now because I had stuff set up to show you in that browser window. And see if I can get back in here. I don't know what's causing me this problem here tonight. All right. Well, I've lost that. That's unfortunate. I had a recipe I wanted to show you. We're going to do the gluten-free pizza project again this coming week, and I had the recipe set up here to show you for. That says paused.
Hi, everyone that's coming on and saying hey. And
Yeah,
Scott,
Tanya,
the answer
Tanya
to your
talked to me
question
for a
is
minute.
Italian basil. He's not growing the Thai to the best of my knowledge yet.
Not Thai basil. I'm growing Genovese basil.
Oh, Genovese. Well, that would be Italian, right?
Yeah. I'm trying to get logged back in here to Google. It's giving me a problem. It's not.
I can tell you, I'm excited about the gluten-free pizza crust. I mean, the last one looked weird, and it didn't have a taste, but it was sturdy. It like was not unappealing. It was just different. So I'm really excited and looking forward to the new formulation for the crust and seeing how that's going to work out. Of course, it's pizza, and I'll be honest with you guys, I love pizza. So there's no such thing as bad pizza, right?
That's correct.
So I do know that for sure.
Okay, I'm almost there.
Okay. Well, the coffee smells fantastic. And it's a really kind of interesting because there's a little bit of vanilla hint to it, but there's also kind of a little, maybe and it may be just wistful tasting on my part, a little bit of a chocolatey taste too. I'll be honest with you. I forgot to put my car back up after I got the John fixed the Rain-X on my new windshield today. And I was really tempted to take the long way into the garage via Krispy Kreme and get some donuts. So I was just like, holy cow, that'd be great. Cindy, I don't think this one has xanthan gum in it, does it, John?
It does not. Xanthan gum is in some of these, but not this one. So I'm ready here to bring this back.
All right.
I am using the first recipe I tried. Or first of all, this is a recipe for the gluten-free all-purpose flour that I'm going to be using in the gluten-free pizza. This comes from America's Test Kitchen. This is their recipe, and I tried their technique last week using King Arthur gluten-free all-purpose flour, and the results, I was not totally happy with the results. So today I made this batch of flour here, and I had to order some of these ingredients because they're not available to me locally. I can get the white rice flour, but I went ahead and ordered some since I was going to have to order this other. But I ordered the white rice flour, the brown rice flour, and the potato starch. I had some tapioca starch here that I used in something else that I cook. And then I bought the non-fat dry milk at the grocery store today. And I mixed this up today because this is what's going to be used. And when I was watching the video that they created at America's Test Kitchen for their gluten-free pizza looked more like a regular pizza than any other gluten-free pizza I've seen in my entire life. And that is the only reason I've committed to try to do this, because that one looked like a pizza. It didn't look like some horrible looking crust. The one I made last week, the crust didn't look that great, and it had no flavor to it whatsoever. So yeah, Tanya will vouch for that. We talked about that here last week, but here is the recipe for the pizza crust. This is the America's Test Kitchen pizza crust recipe that uses that gluten-free flour recipe. And I'll share these recipes with you again when I make the video, but it uses 16 ounces of that flour blend, but then it comes back and adds almond flour and psyllium husks. And psyllium husks are something else that I couldn't buy anywhere around here unless you want to buy Metamucil. And I don't recommend using Metamucil because it's going to have some other flavor in it that you don't really want to put in a pizza crust. But technically, Metamucil is psyllium husk. That's exactly what it is. But the America's Test Kitchen people use the almond flour to bring a fat to this this dough, and they bring the psyllium husk here is performing the same function that the xanthan gum would. And I can't remember the reason that America's Test Kitchen said they wanted to use the psyllium husk rather than the xanthan gum, but there was a reason for it. I just don't remember exactly what it is. So when I do this video, I'm going to try to document some of those things in the video description. So I hope to have this video done and published on Thursday of next week. That is my goal. So this is just a picture of the dough, or of the flour that I mixed up today, and I just put this in an airtight container and put it away until I'm ready, until I get ready to use it. So that's one of the things I'm going to do. That recipe also uses vegetable oil, and I'm not going to use vegetable oil when I do it. I'm going to use I'm going to use some infused olive oil. I actually made some of this today, and I'm not totally happy with the results. I took 2 cups of olive oil, and I brought it up to about 250 degrees with 4 smashed cloves of garlic in it. That part went fine, and then I let that cool down to below 200 degrees, and I poured it in a swing top bottle. And in that swing top bottle, I had a sprig of fresh rosemary, and I had about a half a teaspoon or so of black peppercorns. And in this picture, that looks fine. But as this has sat here for a while, it's turned extremely cloudy. And I'm not real sure why that is, and I'm not real keen on that. So at worst case scenario, I'm going to infuse the olive oil with garlic. I may make another. I think the rosemary is probably, as I read a little bit, it's what caused that to turn cloudy, because this rosemary wasn't dried. And I think that's probably what made it go this color. But I'm going to make another batch of this with just garlic, and I'll probably put some red pepper flake in it. Or if I can find some fresh cayenne peppers at the grocery store, I might drop a cayenne or 2 in there. But I'm going to use a flavored oil in this dough rather than using vegetable oil, because when we made this recipe last week, that crust had a good texture. It had a good feel to it, a good mouthfeel, a good crunch on the bottom from cooking it on the stone, but it had 0 flavor. And I've got to find something that's going to bring some flavor to that, or it's not something I'd want to eat. So we'll see how it goes, but that's where I landed on that. And this thing doesn't come back to the page I like that better. So but that's about the infused olive oil. And actually, the next thing I was going to talk about here was this honey. I got bored. I was bored at work last Sunday night, and don't ever let me surf the Atlanta Grill Company website when I'm bored, because I'll end up pulling my credit card out.
John, I haven't known you to be able to surf the Atlanta Grill Company website yet without pulling the credit card out. So let's not just blame it on boredom.
Well, I like those guys, and I think they like me a little bit.
Well, I like them too. They're awesome.
I bought some honey. I bought this picture is 4 of the honey bottles of honey that I bought. Let's see. One of the ones that's not in the picture here is this. Well, you definitely can't see that. So let's go back. This is holy smoke, hickory smoked wildflower honey. And the other one that I bought, I'm just sitting here realizing that I got the wrong thing. This is not what I ordered, but it's going to be okay. This is a gallberry honey. I don't even know what a gallberry is, but I thought I ordered blueberry honey.
Huh.
But
I don't know, but it could be awesome.
I'm pretty sure I ordered blueberry honey, but we're going to try this. I've got 6 bottles of honey here. That two of them are smoked honeys. Actually, 3 of them are smoked honeys. I've got this Classic City Bee Company smoked honey. These guys are out of Georgia, and Atlanta Grill Company is all about supporting Georgia companies. And I've got this. The whole reason I was looking at it is I wanted some hot honey. The guy that I work with was eating some chicken nuggets from I think they were from McDonald's, and he opened those things up and put drizzled honey on them and just closed the box back up and was shaking them up. And I said, I bet that'd be good with some hot honey. So I bought some of this, and I actually bought an extra bottle of this that I'm going to take him this weekend. This Red Clay hot honey. We're going to be trying that out. And I also from Red Clay bought this barrel-aged Southern honey. So I've got enough honey here to last me at least a week or 10 days. What do you think?
If I don't get a hold of it.
And Beth, here we go. Beth, bless your heart. Beth got sucked into the Joe Jr. deal today. I posted about that, and they sent it out in their email blast also, but Kamado Joe's making a charcoal basket for the Kamado Joe Jr. now, and Atlanta Grill Company's got a deal going where if you buy the Junior, they'll give you the basket for free. And for those of you that want a basket for your Joe Jr. and don't have one already, it's $79.99. It's very well made, just like the other Kamado Joe charcoal baskets are, and it's a very well made basket. And Beth also says the Mike's hot honey is awesome. I'm going to try that one too. I'm not sure exactly where to get that yet. And Luca's with us tonight, and Luca was by. He says he was by Atlanta Grill Company today, and they were real busy with those Joe Jr. deals. I bet they were. They'll probably sell 100 of those things today, if not more, because everybody was posting about it on social media. And I'm sure Gary has probably worn a hole in those shoes, humping it back and forth between the sales floor and the warehouse today. I'm going to talk to Gary. I'm going to get Gary on here with us. I'd like for you guys to have the opportunity to meet Gary. I know all of you have seen Gary posting in our social media groups, but Gary's a nice guy. He knows his stuff, and I'd like to get Gary on here with me in one way or another. It will happen. I don't know if it'll happen here on a Friday night, but what I'm hoping to do now that I've got my streaming problems fixed, my video quality problems fixed, I want to do some live streaming through Atlanta Grill Company, and I want to get Gary on here. I'm gonna talk to him. He's probably gonna tell me no, but I'm gonna badger him. I'm gonna give him a hard time until he gives in. And even if I have to go down there to do it, I'm going to do it. We'll get Gary on here. You guys need to meet Gary. You need to know the man behind all this stuff that's going on. And you don't get to meet Jason either. Gary's not the only guy at Atlanta Grill Company. There's a couple others down there that work pretty hard too. But Gary's the one that's kind of the social media face between you and the company. I don't know how to describe Gary. If you're old folks like me know who the Tasmanian Devil is, but this is Gary. That's Gary. He's a dynamo. he checked in here with us one time on a Friday night. I don't know how active he is. I think Gary. I also happen to know that Gary gets up really early in the morning because I've seen Gary posting on Facebook before 5 a.m. So Gary may be in bed already. And Russ Golf Griller is with us over there on the YouTube side. Russ is a very active and a supporting member over at the KamadoGuru.com forum. Adam's with us. And yeah, Adam, we may not be dinosaurs, but we're getting pretty close to it. Adam lives up there where Avery Wood Oven Boston. He's up there in the same community with Avery. And Adam's been in the Kamado community here with us for a long time. So glad you could join us tonight, Adam. And Ben and Adam are up there. Or Ben and Adam and Avery Wood Oven Boston. They probably can throw rocks at each other's houses. They're so close up there. So Ben, glad you could make it on here with us tonight also. There was one last thing I wanted to talk about tonight, and let me see if I can get it back up here because my browser logged me out of Google somehow or another. This is our gadget. This is going to be our gadget for the week, but give me just a second so I can bring it up. It's not actually a gadget in the greater sense of things because it's a book. So, let's see. Rodney Scott's World of Barbecue. Every day is a good day. I keep telling myself I'm not going to buy any more cookbooks, but I've pre-ordered this one. This one's coming out on March the 16th, which is just, 10 days away, 11 days away. And I didn't know who Rodney Scott was until the most recent Chef's Table series on Netflix came out. If you guys have Netflix and have not watched that 4-part series called Chef's Table Barbecue, you better get on there and do it. There are 4 1-hour. I had that queued up so I could show you that too. But I'm not going to bring that back up. But there are 4 people highlighted in that series, and Rodney Scott is one of them. And Rodney Scott's down in the Low Country, down in the Charleston, South Carolina area. He's got a barbecue restaurant down that way, and he's got another one in Charleston. And I understand he's got something opening up soon in the Atlanta region as well that I'm going to want to visit. But this guy's amazing. But back on that series, the first episode is about a woman named Tootsie Tominance who runs a place down in Texas called, I think it's called Snow's Barbecue. This has been a thing. You just have to get on there and watch it. She's an incredible woman and makes some of the finest barbecue in the world. And with people like her around, I don't understand. I guess I do understand. Not Adam Perry Lang, but what's the guy over in Austin that makes the brisket king? Why is this name escaping me at the moment?
Because you're trying to remember it.
Yeah. So, but anyway, she's not the marketing genius that he is, but she's probably making way better brisket than he is. And the story of her life, Aaron Franklin's the one I'm thinking about here. When I look at the barbecue that Tootsie makes on this Netflix series and compare it to the barbecue that I've seen Aaron Franklin make, I'm not so sure that Aaron Franklin's the king of brisket. The second person that was on that series, his name's escaping me here at the moment also, but he cooks everything over fire. And you really need to check this series out. Rodney Scott was the third person. And there was a Central American woman that was the fourth one that did some really interesting cooking. You got to watch this series because it's Hasting. Luca, are you still with me? What's that guy's name? What's that guy's name that cooked over fire? Did everything over fire? Hasting. The name's escaping me, but it's an incredible series. If you don't have Netflix, you should subscribe to it just long enough to watch that series. So, what kind of questions have I missed here that I need to tackle tonight? Thomas, we got Thomas from Norway with us tonight. I don't often have people in those time zones with me this time of night because it's like 1 o'clock in the morning over there. I usually get some early morning Australians and New Zealanders in here, but Thomas, glad you could be with us tonight. Lennox Jeff, yes, it's Lennox Hasty. Lennox Hasty is the guy I was trying to think of. That out of this 4-part series, Lennox Hasty was the most inspiring of any of these 4 people that I saw. He's trained under some amazing people getting to where he is, and it took him a while to get where he is, but when you watch this show, you'll really get a feeling of a communion with fire, because this guy cooks like nobody else I've ever seen, and everything he cooks is cooked over a direct flame, all of it. It's just super, super amazing, and it's really something that is inspiring, to say the least. It reinforces my idea of the fact if I could go back and start over at a younger age, I would have gone to culinary school. I really think that would have been the career that would have made me happy. And Scott Harmon, glad you could join us. I'd like to share this comment. Oh, that makes me feel so good. Scott, we've got our problem solved. We switched to a different streaming service. Problems are gone. So yeah, I'm going to be able to start focusing on content now and not have to worry about whether you guys can see me or not. And yeah, I was fed up with it. No answers. Nothing I did was making any difference. I decided to do a little research on that problem, and I went to find other people that were streaming through that service. And the first thing I found was a live stream that was happening by that company. They were doing a live stream, and the guy that was hosting the live stream was having the exact same problems I have. His video looked like garbage, and the girl that he had brought in with him, her video looked fine. Now, where have we seen this before, Tanya?
I know. Like I said, I'm just so thankful that we've got a different service and that it appears to be working.
This service is so resource unintensive that it's compatible with Chromebooks. I might even be able to live stream from my tablet with this service. It's less. I brought up my performance monitor to look at it while I was testing this stuff out this week, and it's not hitting my processor nearly as hard as the other one, and it's not sending out the data that the other one was sending out. So I'm not gonna. And also tonight, I'm on my Wi-Fi network again. I'm not cabled directly to the network where I still had problems. If I had to be stranded on a desert island with just one bottle of bourbon, right here it is, guys. And that's all I've got left. I'm not going to drink that until I get another bottle, till I can find another bottle of this. There's a little over a shot left in this bottle. I'm not gonna drink that till I find another one, which may be whenever my wife and I run up to Frankfort, Kentucky and visit this place. We're gonna do that because I think that might be the only way I'm gonna be able to buy Buffalo Trace. And my wife and I have not had what I would call a legitimate vacation. I'm sure a lot of you haven't had a legitimate vacation in a while. For those of you who have, I'm happy for you because we haven't. But luckily, Tanya and I both have been vaccinated. I'm a healthcare worker and she's a teacher. So we've both been able to get qualified for getting these vaccinations. We were both participating in Pfizer's clinical trial, and it just so happens that neither one of us got the real vaccine. We both got placebos in the trial. So, but we've both been vaccinated through that trial. And
Yeah, that was awesome. They called us and they were like, "Hey, guess what? You got the
they
placebo."
didn't call
but
me. I had to threaten to quit the trial to get vaccinated. So,
well, they called me because they were like, "Hey, Tanya, we like you so much better than John."
Russ says he couldn't find any of the Russ lives in Kentucky and he was unable to find any of the, I guess, the Eagle Rare in northern Kentucky last week. This stuff's like it's crazy. It's hard to find. And when I bought that bottle, it was the only bottle on the shelf. And to be a great bourbon that it is, I only paid $38 for that bottle. That's a bargain. That anybody that buys bourbon knows that a $38 bottle is a steal. So okay. Roberts, yeah, this is the I can listen to this kind of comment all night long. You guys can keep telling us how good we look. I'm stoked about that. Instead of spending $90 a month, I'm spending $25 a month, and I've got all of the functionality. There's only one bit of functionality I don't have that I wanted, and Russ, it is related to Patreon. The Patreon site does not give me the ability to seamlessly integrate live streaming with Patreon. However, there is a workaround that I'm going to do. I am going to be able to live stream to the Patreon group with this system. It's just going to work slightly differently, but it'll be transparent on the viewer side. So yeah, we're going to make that work. I'm going to do some live cooking for the Patreon subscribers. I don't know. I haven't figured out what I'm going to do first, but I'm going to set up and do some live cooking on Patreon. So I appreciate those of you who are supporting me on Patreon. We're going to get some live cooking going there as quickly as I can come up with some really good ideas that can happen on camera. As we talked about before, cooking on camera needs to be cooking things that happen quickly. I can't cook something and do a live stream where it needs to smoke for 4 hours or it needs to sit, for 6 hours or whatever.
It could be like that Yule log that they have at Christmas time. It's burning.
I know people like to listen, but I'm not going to be able to hold anybody's attention for any length of time doing that. So I'm glad that we're working now, and hopefully next week, with any luck, I'm going to be able to show you some more direct information about the Kettle Joe. Like I said, I'm excited about that grill. I want to push that grill to its extremes. I want to see what I can make happen on that. The only thing that I'm not going to be able to do on that grill is high temperature pizzas. But I think I'm probably going to be able to do 500 and 600 degree pizzas on that grill with no problem. And I'm not going to have any issues with low and slow cooking on that grill. It's going to be a better kettle than the Weber kettle. I've got no doubts about that, and I'm really, really looking super forward to running that grill through its paces. So, with any luck, we're going to see some more photographs of that grill. And that grill is supposed to launch this month. It's supposed to launch here in March. And when it starts launching, I'll start publishing video content on the grill. I'm really looking forward. Whenever a new grill comes out that I have access to like that, the first thing I do is what I call my walk around demo. I won't call it a product review because it's not a product review. It's a walk around demo. I'm not going to give you my opinion of the grill. I'm going to show you the grill and let you form your opinion of the grill just by looking at the things I'm going to show you. My opinion of the grill will come out more after I've cooked on it a lot. Everybody knows I'm a fan of the Kamado Joe, and I'm always going to be a fan of Kamado Joe. I believe it's the best Kamado grill in its class. There's not much out there I'd rather cook on. I've been cooking with Kamado Joe for a long time, and I'm very, very happy. If I had not been associated with Kamado Joe in any way, I'd still share the same opinion of this grill. It's the one I had decided to buy before I got an opportunity to get one for free, and it's an amazing system. I still think it's the best bang for the buck, and now they're even better off than they were with. They've got 3 different classes of that grill available. They've gone back. They've brought the original grill back for people that want to enter the Kamado market at the $7.99 price point. And then they've got the 2 and the 3. If you want the Cadillac, you've got the Cadillac option there. So that's let's see what else we've got here. Has anybody else got any questions? We're running up on the hour. I'm going to try not to go much longer than that. So I've got some people offering to send me some Eagle Rare. Oh God, I hate to be a beggar. I don't know, Tanya. Should I let these guys know that I have a birthday coming up?
Well, you do have a birthday coming up.
Yeah, but we're not going to talk about that. I don't want to use that information. I've got that hidden on Facebook. But yeah, my birthday's in March, so but I'm getting old. I'm too old to bag. So all right, guys, I appreciate it. I hope everybody has a good week. And
John, we do have a question right quick.
What's that? Scott Marshall?
Yeah.
Let's see. Scott says, have you ever cooked on the Japanese Kamado grills? If so, how much different are they from the Kamado Joe? I have not, and those are actually made in Indonesia. The guy that makes those grills is in Bali, oddly enough. He's not in Japan. Let's see here. The Kamado is that's the Aston Martin. That's the Aston Martin of the Kamado world. It is. It's probably the finest Kamado grill that exists. The guy's name that owns that company is Dennis Linkletter. And for some of you old folks, or if you're even older than me, you might recognize the name Linkletter. And he is a descendant of Art Linkletter from old school TV fame. Dennis lives in Bali, Indonesia, and these grills are handmade. They are amazing. And no, I've never cooked on one. I've got 2 friends that have had these grills, and they love them. There's nothing, I've never really heard a negative comment about the Kamado. I have had my hands on one, and the reason I've had my hands on one is because back when Bobby Brennan owned Kamado Joe, Bobby bought one of these, or he didn't buy it directly. He had somebody who worked for him buy this grill and bring it in because Bobby wanted to look at it. He wanted some hands-on with it. I don't know whatever happened to that grill. I could never bring myself to ask Bobby to let me have that grill. Because, I want to promote Kamado Joe's, but I wanted to cook on one. I would love to have had the opportunity to cook on one of those. They're amazing. I'm not going to say anything negative about Kamado because like I said, it's the Aston Martin. It's the cream of the crop. It's probably the finest Kamado grill that's ever been made. It's expensive. It's really expensive. The lowest end version of the Kamado is more expensive than the most expensive Kamado Joe. Kids say the darndest things. Yeah, Cindy has that's the name of the show. Oh, I got the wrong thing here. Oh, let's try. Yeah, there it is. Sorry, I'm still learning this stuff, but I think it's cool that I have the ability to put your comments. But Art Linkletter had that show, Kids Say the Darndest Things. I think he may have had some other show as well, but that's the Linkletter that's where Dennis Link. I think Art Linkletter may have been his grandfather. So yeah, I've had some conversations with Dennis in the past. Dennis is used to be active on social media. I've had some encounters with Dennis. There was one drop left in there. I couldn't let that just evaporate. So yeah, I can't. I'm not Scott. I've never cooked on one of those, but I'd love to be able to say that I have, but I haven't, and I probably won't because even it's not that I can't afford one. I could let myself buy that grill, but it's one of those things that I think is more fitting in an outdoor kitchen show place where you've got a really beautiful setting. If you want your grill to be a conversation piece, then that's the grill you need to have. My grills are not conversation pieces. I like to describe my grills as my grills aren't debutantes. They're not beauty queens. They're not prom queens. My grills are like the defensive lineman on a football team that just got beat 42-0. They've been rode hard and they've been put up wet. I'll work my grills, and the Kamado can handle that. Yes, it can, and it's beautiful. My favorite ones that I've seen are the ones that have the flat black tile. You can pick and choose your tiles you want on those grills with Dennis when you order one, and your pricing varies based on what you might choose. But I think the flat black one is the coolest looking tile I've seen him ever build that grill out of. And if I could have Kamado Joe to build a John Setzler Man Cave Edition Kamado, it would be flat black. It would be flat black. It would have an uncoated control tower. This grill would look like a grill that's ready to do battle. It would not look like a grill that you want to take your date out and show her what your grill looks like before you go out, before you take her out for dinner somewhere else. But yeah, they have beautiful tile options. If you go to Kamado, I think it's Komodo, KOMODO, KAMADO.com, and look at some of the options that are out there and look at what these things cost. And don't let me discourage you. Go buy one if that's what you'd like to have, because you're going to be happy with it. You are absolutely going to be happy with it. Seb's with us from down in Australia, down in Sydney. I was just telling we have somebody here with us tonight from Norway. So you guys are like on opposite sides of the planet. It's really late at night in Norway. Well, it's really early in the morning over there now, but it's early in the morning down in Australia also. I'm really just happy to know that there's people outside of my neighborhood that are interested in what I have to say. So yeah, thanks for joining us, Seb. I'm glad you could make it. We do this once a week, and it looks like we've had a pretty good group here tonight. And I've overextended my welcome. I've gone for an hour and 5 minutes. I try to limit myself to an hour.
And
So,
y'all, he really does try, because let me tell you, he could talk for a lot longer than that.
oh yeah, my wife has got an ear like nobody you ever heard. I mean, I'm surprised she hasn't left me just because I can't shut up sometimes.
It's because you
Guys,
cook so good.
yeah,
I'm not gonna lie, the food's awesome.
I love to cook, but guys, come back next week. We'll be here Friday night, same time. So I hope everybody has a good week. And until then,
Have a good
goodbye
week,
from
y'all.
the cave.